I think we're streaming live. Can't tell.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Is anybody on? Oh, let's wait and see if somebody
I
comes
would have been
on.
hello, hello, hello.
Hey, we could try that. Let's do it. You go first.
Hello.
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 Hello. It's a good thing nobody's on yet.
No, I don't.
Well, we're gonna jump right in. Nobody. Oh, we got voice Red Dragon Legacy. All right, we got one.
Woo-hoo.
We got one
All
Stooge
right.
fan. So we're gonna jump right in and welcome to a wacky special edition of what I would call Stooge Talk Live on the Three Stooges Plus channel. I am your
Nice.
host, the official Stooge ambassador, Andy P. No, now normally Stooge Talk Live. I have Curly G with me and Chris Dermick, and you can see I even have I'm using Chris Dermick's Zoom because his name is down there. Yeah, and we're doing kind of a special interview, and Rich and I have been working on this for about 2 weeks, right, Rich? Trying to get the technicalities of this worked out, and we managed to do it about 8 minutes ago. So
Yeah, and it finally came to fruition, which you are seeing here right now.
yeah, so here it is, and we are here with Three Stooges super fan Rich Gallo, otherwise known as Rich the Freak,
Woohoo!
right?
And you people from Philly, yeah, that's right. You might remember that from back in the day, Rich the Freak, and here I am. Rich Gallo, Rich the Freak, call me anything, I'll answer. I'll answer to you.
Well, thanks for joining us, Rich. I think this is going to be the first of probably several interviews that we'll do over the next couple weeks because I know you have a ton of stories to tell.
Yes.
You knew some of the Stooges.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
corresponded with others. Obviously, there wasn't too many around. You're a young man still. So, sadly, I think probably most of them were gone. But you knew, and still probably know, a lot of any of the co-stars you met, dozens of them. You've corresponded with them. You've collected. You have a huge collection of Three Stooges stuff that you're going to share some of that with us today. And,
Absolutely.
yeah, so let's, before we jump right into it, I always like to just say hi to some of the people online. We got Red Dragon Legacy and Jared and Tuffy and Sabrina and Manuel, Kayla Phelps and James Coop. And Pete LeBlanc. You must have met Pete. Have you ever met Pete?
It sounds so familiar.
Oh,
I'm
Pete.
sure.
Okay, Pete. Well, you don't live out in L.A., so you don't go to the Alex Theater Three Stooges.
No, I
yeah.
haven't been yet. I've been to LA a number of times. Because it's around Thanksgiving time, it's just a hard time to make it out there.
Sure.
But I would love to go there. It just seems like so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You gotta come out. I'd love to actually meet you in person. We've talked many times, but we've never met face to face, right?
I know. Well, I will make that happen one day. I will make that happen sooner than later.
And even though actually you and me were both at the same convention in Philadelphia a couple years ago in 2016, was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we didn't run into each other because I'm a chatter, as you guys will see as we go on. Like you, Andy, I am a chatter. I could talk forever. So it's you.
Who said I'm a chatter? I just poured myself a cup of three. Have you ever tried the Three Stooges coffee?
I have not, but that looks so good. I can almost smell it through the screen.
It is so good. I got myself a cup. I made since we're gonna be talking for a while. Although this is not the one I made. I made the Moe's Angry Blend.
Is that your favorite, Moe's Angry? What's your favorite one?
I think there's three of them. There's a 3-bean blend. There's the Moe's Angry Blend and the Curly's. And you would think Curly's best, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know if the Moe's the dark one, but there's just something about it that I really enjoy. Although I'm drinking out of my Curly Moe.
I will, and this is a promise. Later tonight, once we're done all that, I will go online, or tomorrow morning, depending, because I'm on East Coast time.
Yeah.
I will order a bunch of the Three Stooges coffee to try, and the next time I'm on, I can give you a review of what I think.
That would.
It's the Stooges, so it's not going to be a bad review. It's the Three Stooges. How can you go bad with anything Three Stooges?
That's how I think. I mean, I remember the Three Stooges beer.
Yes.
I
oh my gosh.
loved having that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Fun stuff.
I'll put the link for those of you. They don't sponsor us or nothing. Just not that they would, but they did send me some coffee a while back for us to try, and I love. I love any of the Stooges merchandise out there, and I always want to push, and I always want to kind of promote that the Three Stooges are still alive and well out in the world. And this channel is a big testament to that.
This stuff is so cool. Even the bobbleheads that are out now is so cool. And if you notice when you watch TV shows or sitcoms or even streaming services, there's every so often a reference to the Three Stooges on the show.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
What are you acting like, Mo? Like, but you see, with other comedy teams, they don't necessarily do that. But 95% of the time, you will see a Stooge reference somewhere out there, which is kind of cool. It's like, wow, let's see, the Stooges are still relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, and even, I'll even hear Shemp references. Like, I think there was a chef reference on Friends, and now I know that's getting to be kind of older comedy, but, the fact that they're mentioning my boy Shemp, I love.
And I'm a huge Seinfeld fan too, and there was always like a reference. I remember George said one time, "Yeah, I'm going to go to the barber." He said, "Yeah, give me the Larry Fine." So, George was upset about being bald, and he was going to get like some kind of toupee. He goes, "Yeah, well, who goes to the barber and says, give me the Larry Fine?"
Right? Yeah, that's true. Well, I think it was Larry David is a big Three Stooges fan.
Yes.
And obviously he was in the movie, but actually so is Jeff Garlin, is a big Three Stooges fan, and particularly Shemp. He posts on him on his Instagram.
That's awesome. Oh my God.
All right, so Rich, let's jump in. So you became a Stooge fan when?
Yeah, I was about 13 years old when I really got into it. I'm the youngest of 4 kids.
Oh, you're late.
So, and my oldest is 10. My oldest sibling's 10 years older than me. My brother is 8.5 years older than my other one's 3 years older. So they were always watching Stooges when I was a kid, and I just got into them. And somehow around like 12 or 13, I just started I start watching them on my own. And it's like, wow, these guys are really cool. And I bought the Stooge Chronicles, I think it was. And there's a reference that there's a Three Stooges fan club based out of Philadelphia, and Larry's brother Morris Feinberg was running the club. Lo and behold, I got the address. I joined the club. My sister, being 10 years older, she was already in her early 20s, so she gets married. She lives like 2 blocks away from Mo Feinberg, Larry's brother, in Philadelphia.
No way.
So I was like, I'll go to my sister's house, and really, I'm like, I'll just walk over to Mo Feinberg's house. So I would go to his house sometime, just knock up the door, and it wasn't a long conversation. It was like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and just chatting. And then he wrote his book, My Brother Larry, The Stooge in the Middle. And he was having a big appearance at the TLA on South Street in Philadelphia, which, by the way, the Stooges played at back in the day as well. And that's where I really got to know him, because after he was doing a book signing, so I'm back there. And he's up on stage, he goes, is there a young fan out there named Rich Gallo? And I'm like 13, so I'm like, oh my God, he said my name in front of everybody. That was so cool. So he signed my book, and I got a Polaroid with him. And I would love to write a story about that too, with and one of the American mythology comic books. I write stories for American mythology comic books as well. But he's going to be a story as well in the future. But he was such a nice guy, and he passed away about a year later. And then I got to get to know Lila, Mo's sister, and Larry's sister. When I say Mo, I mean Morris Feinberg. I'm sorry if I'm saying that, but his nickname was Mo as well, like Mo Howard. And Lila was the sweetest woman, and her husband Nate. They were so cool, and you could just talk for hours from them. And it's cool because I'm from Philadelphia, they're from Philadelphia, so there's no like when I'm 14, 15, like I don't have to go across the country to meet them. I can literally just drive like 25 minutes. Or have my mom drive. I'm sorry, have my mom drive me because I wasn't driving at 15. I don't want to get any DMV people after me. I was not driving when I was 15. That was like 100 years ago anyway, so it's all good. But no, they were just so nice. I was really lucky that I got in at a young age to meet different people. I got to know Emil Sitka through letters, writing letters and things like that, and that graduated to phone conversations. And then I got to go out to his house when I was 16 in 1987. I saw him again in 88, and then I didn't see him for like 7 years. And then, now I'm in my 20s. I just graduated college. So I go out by myself, and I had a friend out here already, so I stay with my buddy. And then Steve Cox, author Steve Cox of Three Stooges books, went with me. I went to his house, picked him up, and we drove, because Steve knew Emil as well.
Okay.
And we just hung out for the day and took tons of pictures. The first 2 trips in the 80s, there's video and home movies of that. So, and you could, you could see that. You could see that on the Three Stooges Phonorama, Paul Garicki's DVD that's out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's on disc 3, the footage of that's on there. So it's pretty cool. It's
the Stooge-orama, the Stooge-orama set.
Yes, Stooge-orama. Yes, thank you. And it was cool because Emil set both 87 and 88. He set it up. It was home movies, like 8mm film. And he kind of set it up. He goes, okay, you're going to do this. You're going to do this. He goes, then I'm going to do this.
Oh, man.
And he placed us, and then he goes, once we had it down, between me and my brother-in-law, depending who was in the shot, would film the different takes. And it was just so much fun. And there's one scene where he has a turkey baster, and he filled it with root beer, but he's pretending it's a pen, but he filled it with root beer, so he's going to squirt it at me so you could see it. And you could see in the home movies, like, I start laughing, and I can't stop laughing, because he's just like, oh, I squirt my shirt, and I'm giggling. I try to put my head down because we're filming, and I'm trying so hard not to laugh, but that's how funny and how nice Emil was. He could just make you laugh like that.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And speaking of Emil, hang on, I want to share something here, too.
As you're looking, I just want to say, hi, Jimmy. Thank you very much. Three Stooges Plus, thanks you. We also have Chris Dermick is in the chat here.
Chris!
You know Chris. I'm using his Zoom. Maybe we're going to try to get him on, too. We might be able to get him to join the Zoom here in a bit.
Well, here's a picture of me and Emil back in '88. I don't know how well everyone can see that.
Wow. If you send me a scan of that, I'll post it as a post.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then he signed this one. He says, this is Rich Gallo, and he put a question mark. But he was always cool with signing. This one is me and my brother-in-law who went out with me. And I'll show you that star that he has in his hand. I will show you that in a minute too.
Wait, raise it up.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So this is all in his backyard. So it's so cool.
Wow.
So I'll tell you one story too. And in the Three Stooges, the New Year's Nitwits, American Mythology New Year's Nitwits, AmericanMythology.net.
Oh, so these are the Three Stooges comics, right? The new.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hold on, I might have that one.
Take it out of the bundle here.
I got a bunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this just tells the story of me meeting him and going there. So I highly encourage you to order this, because not only that, there's a lot of great artwork in there, and I know, and I'll get to some more artwork with another comic I'll show you in a little bit. But the coolest part, and I'll tell you this because the Emil stories could be so long, because I knew him from like when I was 16 until I was 26. Wow. So there's that history there. Yeah. So it's cool. It's like I was like a little guy, and then you can see in the photos that are in the comic book, some of them, that I'm about like head to head with him when I first met him. And then when I'm in my mid-20s, like I'm towering over him just because.
Wait, how tall are you? He was really tall.
Emil, I'm only like 5'11" when I stand up straight.
Wait, but Sitka towered over the Stooges.
Yes, well, the Stooges were only like 5'4" and 5'5", so I'm like looking at that.
I thought he was like 6'2".
Oh no, the Stooges were little.
Look at, I do have it.
Oh yeah, nice.
I do have it.
Nice.
I don't remember reading the I've read the comic, but I don't. Your interview's in here?
Yeah, it's in the back. Yep, it's a whole story of. It says my buddy Emil Sitka. It's like right there. It's kind of like the last story in the issue. Yeah.
My camera's a little clearer.
Yes. I'll let you hold them up. Yes.
Okay.
And I've been using wipes on my lens and all that. You think one of the students are throwing pies at my camera, but that's not the case. I'm just sloppy, I guess. So.
Anybody who watches Stooge Talk live knows that there's always some kind of malfunction or loud. Yes. The fact that this is working and I'm clearer, so.
Yeah. And this was no easy task, everybody. I'm just telling you before this. This was like, oh my God, are we going to be able to do this?
Oh well, we tried this for like 2 weeks, and everything I tried. We don't need to get into that, but it's funny. So you said I had that book as a kid. I don't know if we're the same age or not. You look like 10 years younger than me, but I think going by who you met with, I feel like we got to be close. And I had that book, the Stooge Chronicles, when I was young. And
yeah, same thing. And I don't even know where it is anymore. But I got it at my local library back when we would go to libraries and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
But one of the cool stories about Emil was, we went out to lunch the first time I met him, and so my family gets in our car, and Emil says, "Hey, Rich, do you want to ride with me? And your family can follow me." So I'm like, yeah. So I'm in a car, and it was kind of mind blowing because I'm 16. It's like this guy was in all these Three Stooges movies.
Yeah.
I'm in his passenger seat looking, and he's 5 feet from me driving the car. It was just mind-blowing for a young guy. It was incredible.
I would have flipped out. I don't understand. I was like, 11 or 12 at on the Three Stooges fan club. I went to the conventions. I didn't make friends with anybody, and I wasn't a shy kid.
Wow.
I think I just didn't know. I don't think I realized that like that Curly Joe and Joe Besser and Sitka were alive. I don't. I didn't read. Sadly, like I bought the books, and I bought and I used to get the journal. Actually, I still get the journal, but I don't think I ever read them to really understand. I just watched them and like collected.
I got you. Well, like this is say 1988. I'm calling Joe Besser on the phone and talking to him.
I'm so mad I didn't do this.
Yeah, well, this is back in the day when you could record it. Like you have a suction cup, you put in a tape recorder, and you put the suction cup on the receiver.
I remember that.
Yes. And my brother had that, so I recorded the conversation.
Wait, do you have those conversations?
I do. Yes.
Are they out
They're
around?
digital. You could play one if you want. They're digital.
Oh yeah, we got to make that happen. We're gonna talk. Yeah.
So Joe was such a nice guy, and I know the best bet was because people said that if you just go to his house, it's easier that way. He just sees I'm older now. Sadly, when I was out there in '88, he had passed away that March, and I was there in August, so I never got a chance to go to his house. But that being said, I talked to Joe DeRita, his wife, and she gave the go-ahead to go to Curly Joe's house. So, and again, like here is Curly Joe and myself.
Oh my goodness.
Sitting on his front porch. And when I met him in person, I truly understood how little the Stooges were. He was heavyset like a Stooge, but he looked like a cartoon character. Like literally, he was so little.
He doesn't look little.
Down, but you could just see how short he was when he was sitting down. It's like even his face and his hands, he was just like tiny. And it's like wow, it's so I'm kneeling down next to him, although he's sitting down there, so it's not like a good. But speaking of that, I also in this beautiful cover that you designed. Yes. You want to hold up a cleaner copy?
I happen to have that with me.
Yes.
Oh.
The Centennial Three Stooges edition. If you go to AmericanMythology.net, you can order that. Not only get the beautiful cover work, there's variant covers of this too. I like this one, and I know Andy, so I'm proud I know you and holding this up because you actually designed this.
Yeah.
But my story of Curly Joe's in there as well.
Yeah, that one I did read. Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, you guys got to check this out. That's actually what's great about the comics.
Yeah, Saxon Sitka, Emil's son, wrote the story in there too, which you just showed about when he met Curly Joe.
Oh wait, was that not the one?
Yeah, that was Saxon's story.
Oh yeah, here's yours.
Saxon,
yeah. That's actually what I love about these comics is, and this one. So yeah, I did the cover, but like, we're actually in this one. I wrote this story. And me, Curly G, and Chris Dermick we're in it as ourselves, doing Stooge Talk Live. And this is when we used to do it in my living room.
I love that because when I ordered it, I didn't realize I was going to be in it. This is, I guess, a while ago when I wrote that story. And I'm like, oh my God, I know these guys because I knew Brad forever, and like I know these guys, and like you're in comic, it's kind of cool. And the fact that I know you when you did the cover, that kind of makes me proud. I'll say it. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, thank you. What's funny? I didn't mean for these to be the cover. Like I just painted these live streaming, like watching the Stooges and hanging out with the fans.
Yeah.
And when they reached out to me about what happened is they reached out. We're on the cover as the Stooges, which is just like the biggest thrill. Right, but when they reached out to do it, I was like, if we're gonna be on the cover as the Stooges, like the story has gotta be about us, why we would be on the cover of the comic books. Because for those of you who don't know us, you're like, who are these imposters?
Yeah,
But they asked to put these paintings on there. I was very honored.
No, it's really cool, and I have one of those covers with you guys on it. I know when American Mythology was doing a Kickstarter, one of the options was you donate money, you get an autographed comic book by you guys, and I said, I want that because It's cool, I would love that, and I have that, and that's in my little comic box, and it's nice and sealed and all that. But it's awesome. It's just so much fun, and I don't remember if I told the story about Curly Joe. When I first walked up on his porch, and forgive me if I said this already, but he goes, what do you want? And I said, well, I'm here to see you. He goes, who told you to come here? And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm scared to death because I'm young, and I'm like, oh my God, should we leave? I said, well, I talked to your wife, Jean. He goes, oh, why didn't you say so? Come on up and sit down. So he was just messing with me, and that was Curly Joe's personality. He messed with you like that to get a rise out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's more fun stories in the comic book if you want to get that as well. So
Well, so that's the thing. I work for his stepchildren at C3, Bob, and Bob talks a lot about. I ask him all kinds of questions about, knowing the boys, and he would tell me that Curly Joe just had that kind of like weirdo, dark, but he was very kind. He said he loved them, but he had a kind of a very funny sense of humor or strange sense of humor, like that. Yeah, a little bit biting, and then to turn it around, I guess.
Yeah, when I left, I got like it was always cool writing to him as a kid. I would always do a self-addressed stamp envelope. There would always be extras, like when he would write back, there would be Three Stooges stamps from the fan club kit. There would be there's little membership cards from the fan. Like,
yeah,
he must have had a ton of those old fan club kits because there was always something from that fan club kit he would send back whenever he wrote back. And even if you write to a celebrity today, always put a self-addressed stamp envelope. I always did that as a kid, so which I think is why people responded too.
That's he still has. I have some of his, not I have, but at C3 Stooge headquarters, we have some of his stuff, and there is, the Three Stooges kid, and he's got some cards in there. And actually, I'll have to talk about this later, but I actually talked to Bob yesterday. We're going to do a giveaway for, we hit 200,000 followers on YouTube and on Instagram, and we're going to do a giveaway, and I've been kind of finding stuff to put together. In fact, we're going to get some comic books. I talked to the comic book guys at American Mythology. They're sending a bunch of stuff. I talked to the coffee people. They're sending me like big discount coupons. We're giving away a set of the bobbleheads that you mentioned, but there's stationery that Curly Joe had that has the Three Stooges on it. And I was like, hey, so cool. Can we give away 6 of these for the
nice.
And Bob was like, yeah, let's do it. So I didn't announce it, so that's the new announcement that they're going to be giving away. So I'm putting that.
Well, I'm personally going to look out for that too.
Yeah, you got. I got to figure out like part of it. I haven't figured out exactly like how to pick the winner yet. And the top 5 runners up. I have some ideas, but I think it'll be based on like comments and stuff. But anyway, you have more. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
speaking of Curly Joe, I'll show you this. If you see this picture, and you see he's wearing a tie right there, this is the actual tie that he has on. I got this years ago from somebody who knew Gene, and he was from Jersey, so I didn't know how he knew Gene. He was from northern Jersey near New York. So he had a bunch of stuff that was Curly Joe stuff, and I made the mistake of never getting like a photo of it. But then years later, a photo surfaced on the internet.
No
I'm like,
way.
oh my God, that is the tie. So I got to snap up this photo right away. That is the actual tie. And you could see, I know it's hard to see online like this, but you can see it's like a little bullhead, but you can see that tie on there.
You got to scan that and let us post that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So up next is, the 3 Robotic Stooges.
Yes.
Which is another, I wrote a story about Edward Burns, who was the writer and director of the Three Stooges movies. He also directed Elvis. He directed some of the Blondie and Dagwood movies. He actually directed Return of the Fly with Vincent Price as well.
Wait, so he started out as a sound guy?
Yes. Yep. He was a sound guy. And in this story about when I met him, I'll show you this with the American Mythologies book here. Let's see. Okay. I call this story because of that. He started out with doing sound. And there's some photos in here too of some animation cells that are mine that I sent to that are in there of the 3 Robotic Stooges.
They're hard to see. Let me see if I have that one. I don't know if I have that one.
Although it looks familiar. I call the story from sound to script just because Ed Burns was a sound man first.
So you own a lot of stuff.
Yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but and I'll share this picture too real quick. So it's weird because in this picture, this is Ed Burns is in the picture. Bernard Glasser, who produced the Gold Raiders, the feature was Shemp Howard.
Yeah.
The older guy right here is named Buzz Libet. He was an early mic boom operator for Columbia Pictures, who knew the Stooges back in the early 30s. And it's me there, and then my mom there, because my mom, when I was a kid, would travel with me everywhere.
Right.
But this is just such a great shot. So Ed gave me a whodunit one sheet. and I brought that, and it was in pretty sad shape. As you open it up, it's all wrinkling. So
it was his one sheet to Who Done It?
That's his one sheet, yes. So he sent it to me in Philadelphia. I brought it to, he signed it, and Emil signed this one as well. So when he's opening it, it chipped a little bit. So Bernard Glasser, the producer of Gold Riggers, goes, "Who done it?" He goes, "I'm going to tell you, Ed's going to do it if he keeps ripping that poster anymore." It is since restored and hanging up on a wall. So it's back in and the signatures didn't get destroyed when they restored it. Because I made them aware of that, not to, I love poster restoration, and I only do it if a poster's in really bad shape.
Yeah,
that was in really bad shape. But yeah, that's another great story, and I will share. In here, because I got stuff everywhere here.
I'm looking for that comic. I wanted to see the.
Oh yeah. And the last one that came out is the Little Stooges.
Oh, I don't have it. How do I not have that comic? I'm so mad.
So that's okay. So the Little Stooges has a story about Sylvia Lewis, who played Helen Blazes in Bedlam in Paradise. Sylvia is 94 years old. She is still living. And she's in Southern California.
Wait, where? Can we get her on?
I could check with her. I'll find out.
I'll even go to her.
Yeah. I mean, she is amazing for her age because she is pretty with it.
Yeah.
And pretty responsive when you talk to her, and you wouldn't think of someone you wouldn't think of somebody in their mid 80s to be as responsive. But she was a dancer her whole life, so I think that's why she is so physically fit. And when I saw her, and again, the Little Stooges, you can get that on AmericanMythology.net.
Yeah, I have that one, although I have a different cover. It's the reprint of the Norman Maurer ones, right?
Yes.
It's so fun. My whole life I've never owned the originals on those, and I was so glad that they reprinted those.
Yeah, I just got a message. My time is running out.
That was already?
I know. Well, I'll share this too real quick.
Okay.
So this is the Three Stooges star. This is a photo of the Three Stooges star that I took many years ago when I was first out in California. And I had people I met over the years sign it. So on this, Emil Sitka signed this. Larry's family signed it. Larry's brother and sister signed it. Grandchildren signed this.
You said Brad's mom, right? Signed it?
Yes, Brad's mom's on here too. Marilyn, she's right there. Robert Colbert, who was in Have Rocket Will Travel. Arlene Hunter, who was in the Joe Bezer shorts. Diana Darren, who was in the Shemp shorts.
Sure.
There's pretty much multiple signatures on here. A lot of them, and it's really hard to see like that. But there's at least 30, 35 signatures on this.
Rich, that is.
And as a kid,
awesome.
I thought this would just be a great idea to blow it to 11 by 14, like a lobby card size.
Yeah.
And have people sign it. What else? I want to share you here is. I know my time saying is running out, so I just want to get some stuff out here really quick. This is an unassembled Pillsbury projector, and I know you guys were talking about Pillsbury projectors.
Yes, so that's a real one.
Yes, this is a real one. I have one that's assembled that I bought assembled.
Oh, really?
This is one that's never been used.
So Dermot got one, and he started trying to make them. In fact, he's donating one, this replica, to our giveaway. Right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he made one for Brad Curly G for his birthday, and he did he actually created his own. He picked out special, whatever the animation the frames are for Brad, but these are pretty neat. He'll talk about this later. He left this year, so he might never get it back.
Oh, nice. Here's a William Morris contract signed by Mo, Larry, and Curly Joe from 1963.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wait, for what? It was for them repping him?
Yeah. William Morris Agency repped the Stooges, and it says this contract is valid for a year. So I guess every year they would re-sign again to have them as a representative. I know Norman Maurer, Mo's son-in-law, kind of took over for a lot of that after too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's some of my stuff. And I know I'm running out of time. I have to kind of get a upgraded Zoom account, I think. So.
I know. This is lame that we can only do this because we have the free Zoom account.
I know.
But that's okay because I got a lot of work to do on Three Stooges Plus here. But I am so glad you joined us.
I'm loving it. I had such a good time. And again, I just want to promote my friends at American Mythology, AmericanMythology.net. And please order the comics. They are fantastic, and we want to keep them going. I mean...
Yeah, I don't know what they have. I got a bunch of them. That
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I was buying them before I started working for the Stooges, and now
Me too.
you know, and
I'm
now
a Stooge geek. I'm all kinds of a geek, but I'm definitely a Stooge geek too at heart. So.
oh, I know it's the best, and what's great about the comics is there's new comics in these, and then there's older reprints of the ones I can never afford to get. You know,
Yeah.
I know you have the original 1949
Jubilees, I do.
Yes,
know. And they did a reprint. I scanned my first copy.
Yes.
They did a reissue just by me scanning that into my computer and sending it off to them, and they reprinted it. And that's how that's available for like $5 or $6 as opposed to like $1,000.
Yeah, and it's great. It's inside. It's an adaptation of Hoi Polloi and Uncivil Warriors, right?
Yes, yeah, it's great. And all the comics though, you guys do so much for the comic books. I love it so much as well. But yes, it's an adaptation of those two films. And hopefully they do one of the Jubilee #2, which I scanned for them as well. But I guess it just depends on.
Oh, yeah, we need that. I was just going to ask about that. Also, so Chris Dermick just wrote, he wrote a story. I don't know if I could say what it's about, but he wrote a story for one of the upcoming comic books.
Yeah, okay, yes. And it's hopefully that comes out sooner than later. I have an idea what that is. And again, I don't know if I'm. Well.
Yeah, well, we'll hold off. But the fact that our very own Chris Dermick is wrote one of the next ones, I'm super excited about.
Yes, it's going to be great. It's
yeah,
gonna be fabulous. But,
I want to do more. I actually want to do one myself, where I have an idea for one. I want to write it and draw it, but I want to draw it in the Norman Mauer style, because even as a kid, I was like, I don't know who drew these comic books or these cartoons of the Stooges, but his style was beautiful. He was an
incredible artist. I have some original artwork from him I can show next time we're on as well. So.
Okay, well, if you ever want to send one or get rid of one, then let me know.
No, and I have a cool comic book. I have a for one of the issues of the Gold Key comics, I have a storyboard from that he wrote out. So it's big, but I will share that too.
Wait, really? Because he didn't do the Gold Key artwork, right?
No, I think he did some of that.
Did he?
I have to get it, and maybe it's a Dell one, but I have to get it to see. But it's definitely I have to double check that. I might be misspeaking on that. It's definitely a comic book page or sample, so you might be right about that.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, but then I know in the 80s, before he passed away, you might even have this one. I don't know who. Somebody's got like. They were gonna do a series of comic books with the Three Stooges, Madhouse or something, where it's a. They were spoofing movies.
Yeah, yes, they were going to do a movie too. It's called Stooges 007, a spoof off of James Bond. And how I remember that specifically, because the director was George Gallo, and that's no relation to me.
Okay.
But I remember seeing that. I'm like, oh my God, so Gallo. Gallo's going to direct the Three Stooges movie. And I'm a kid. I might have been like 9th grade, but like it's just exciting. I'm like, that's cool. Someone with my last name was directing a Three Stooges movie.
Right.
And it never came about. I think Norman died before anything really happened with that.
Was it gonna? It wasn't gonna be the Stooges though. They were passed on by then, weren't they, or no?
No, it was gonna be new people playing it.
Oh, okay. I remember seeing artwork for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a poster or something.
His artwork was so good, Norman.
I know. I love it. But before you go, I want to see if anybody from the audience wants to ask you a question. They're all chatting away, which I love. And Sue is here. Hello, Sue and Emiratas. Who do we got? Anybody want to ask Rich a question? That part of the issue with this is, by the time they hear what we're saying, it takes a couple minutes before anybody to react. We're on.
I'm new to this type of call as well as Andy, but so I am not looking at the chat. So if you read it out to me, someone asks a question, I will definitely respond, or you can.
Yeah, we'll see if anybody's got anything to say. So, but you have a huge collection of stuff, and you still know a lot of, the Stooge, the authors and all the huge Stooge fans, and you have a huge collection of stuff that you have not shared with us. Yeah, I mean, we could do this for hours, right? If you were to show it.
Literally, yes. I have so much other stuff I pulled out, but we'll have to do it another time, because it's literally that's only not even the tip of the iceberg. Stuff that I showed you and stuff that I didn't show you that's actually sitting across the room right now.
Yeah.
It's just there's just not enough time, and you just kind of want to keep it. It's
interesting.
Interesting.
We're gonna figure it out where we could do a longer one next time.
Yeah.
We got two great questions here. One from Emrataz. It says, "What stooge would you most like to share pizza with?"
Well, I love pizza.
Yeah.
I would say either Mo or Larry. Well, Larry, because Larry was from Philadelphia and I'm from Philadelphia, so that's kind of a cool thing. It's it's convenient for me to drive. Although it's not super close, like maybe 35 minutes away. I can drive by Larry's old house where he was born or places he's lived and been to.
Yeah.
So maybe Larry, I would say, just because he's a Philadelphia person too. And we could go grab Tasty Cakes after. Tasty Cakes are a huge Philadelphia thing, but I think Tasty Cake expanded now more over the country.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember there was an interview with Scott Riebel, a buddy of mine who actually, a little bit older than me, met Mo and Larry when he was a teenager. And there's a story that talking about Tasty Cakes with Larry. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's like he was Larry was a diabetic. So this is when he was at the Motion Picture Country Home. So Scott's dad went out first to meet up with Larry and asked him some questions. He goes, "Well, I brought some Tasty Cakes from Philadelphia." And he goes, "Oh, well, actually, I'm a diabetic." And then Scott's dad goes, "Okay, well, I don't have to get them." He goes, "Oh, I can have one or two." So Larry's like, he says I'm a diabetic, but he's like, "No, don't take them away. I can have one or two." Like, oh, true Philadelphia, and they're loving his Tasty Cakes.
Yeah. That'll be me.
No, trust me.
What do you have a favorite Stooge short?
Well, I love oh good Lord, where's that poster now too? I can show you. Whodunit. I love Whodunit with Shemp. I love Shemp a lot. I love all of the Stooges.
Yeah.
But Whodunit I like that one specifically because Ed Burns directed it.
Oh. Oh no! Oh no! Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh no! It's the worst. Oh, hold on, I don't know how to turn this off. I don't know what this is. Everything's going haywire. Oh man! Free Zoom meeting. Well, as you could tell. This is run just like, this is run just like any other Stooge production and a typical Stooge Talk Live, which will pick up. We're going to be back on, yes. Curly, you can hear me? Okay, good. Curly G is actually going to do Stooge Talk Live tonight back on his channel. I'm a little concerned about him emotionally. Don't mention that I said this because, he's been going through a lot, so let's not mention anything. Let's just give him some love. But Dermot's gonna be back, and I'll be back, and Curly G's coming back, and we're gonna do that right on Curly's grandson's channel, probably a couple hours now. And in the meantime, I gotta get back to work to providing you with a bunch of great Stooge content on the Three Stooges Plus. Don't forget Three Stooges comic books from American mythology, Three Stooges coffee. Oh, and we also have lotto tickets from Rhode Island Lotto and Ohio Lotto, and I think we got. I wish I had them out here. Bobbleheads from the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame. The bobbleheads are great. I help pick all the audio clips and make sure that they looked as good as they did. And that's it. I'm sorry we got Rich cut off. We're going to have to figure it out again for the next time so it's not so quick. Love you guys. See you over on Curly's Grandson's channel a little bit. And now we'll talk soon. Okay. Yeah.